Shalom, all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha Kwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the hopeful elect Arkim that are teaching this word. Shalom, Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha Kwadash. Now, as you can see here, this is a podcast I was watching. And it's a Jake that's, this Jake is pretty much, he's lived, like a bad lifestyle. But he's changed his ways, and pretty much he says a lot of deep things. Obviously, we know the majority of our people, are lost in this society. He even talks about it. How Jakes are pretty much, or he's refers to it as the community. But we know he's talking about so-called Negroes in the UK and all over the world, because he mentions America also. But he talks about Jake basically being in a zombie state, man. And he says something that's actually scriptural, all right? Because he mentions a study. When he was studying, he mentions a study done, right? And the reaction that was done by the rats in the study, basically. I'm going to play what he says. But basically, we know that, the way Esau's got our people is pretty much, the way Esau's got so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. He's done the studies on us, man. And where does he do his studies? In all of these high-end schools and whatnot, and they study on mice and rats and whatnot. And what they do is they keep them in these. I'm gonna play what he says here, but pretty much, man, they do these studies on them, and they basically turn on each other. They go to war with each other. The rats, the mice, they start killing each other in the projects, man. In the projects that they do in these schools, and then Esau implements that in the real world, man. Why do you think the ghettos are called the projects, man? Or the low-income housing, and it's just, the people at the bottom, which is predominantly Negroes and Latinos, going against one another, man. But it's all set up by the so-called white man, the Edomites. So let me play this here, what he says here, because he says a lot of things. But let me play this part here. And then I'm going to read some of the scriptures, because it's an agenda against our people, right? By who? By the wicked elites of Esau, okay?
DD 100, so it's Understanding Society. And there was a topic that it spoke about some rats. In my research here, rats. Okay. So they're all living in a pen together. So they've organized this in this way. So they're all playing peacefully with each other.
Yeah.
So when they press this buzzer, they all get electrocuted.
Okay.
So what the scientist done was he pressed this button and all the rats got electrocuted. Now, what do you think happened? The whole dynamics changed after that. What do you think the rats done?
Angry.
Yeah, but rather than them thinking that it's external forces,
they started blaming each other.
which created this problem in the first place, they started to blame each other. Yeah. So they started to pair up in different groups, and they started to fight against each other. They started to become barbaric. So they started to, this is our borough. That's your borough. Then some would go over, try to even grab one of the women from the boroughs or try to kill one of them and so forth. And it was back and forth. And if you look at us as a community as well, exactly what we do as well. Sometimes there's forces that are a lot bigger than us. But what do we end up doing? We end up blaming each other rather than saying that, wait, there's situations that way beyond. There's other sinister forces that are at work here. But rather than actually see that, it's just quite easy to blame each other.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense.
And it's absolutely, it's heart-rendering and it's absolutely crazy. But it's about, awakening people's minds as well. And also, the most important thing is working on yourself. Because we like to blame everyone sometimes. We're a nation of blamers.
And this is what it is, all right? That's the point. I mean, he says more, within this clip, but that's one of the points. And there's even more that he mentions, like how biased I'm going to read the scriptures in a second, and how biased the system is, and how basically, Esau or so-called white people, are not judged the same way so-called Negroes are in the court system. Okay, he goes into a lot, but pretty much what he mentioned there with the study with the mice and the rats, right, basically is what Esau implements in this society, all right, amongst you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, all right, puts drugs in your communities, puts guns in the community, And you still got a lot of our people in the spirit of blaming each other, right, for the faults that's going on in, you know, amongst Israel, amongst Jake, right? But guess what? There isn't external forces, man. It's the powers of the so-called white man. And a lot of our people are seeing this now, but then you do have a lot of our people that are still, you know, lost in the source, man. All right? They don't see the bigger picture, basically. All right? Still stuck on that I shall be evil towards thy brother spirit, man. Or towards thy own people, basically, which is all the curses, your neighbor. So let me read this. This is Psalms 50 and 19. I'll read it from 19. And I've got some more scriptures written down. Psalms 50 and 19. It says, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. All right, this is talking about the so-called white man. All right, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thine own brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. That's talking about the so-called white man. The scripture says they sit and slander thine own brother. Because Jacob, who's the brother? The so-called white man is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans' brother, right? That goes back into that history, Jacob and Esau. Who's Jacob? You Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Who's Esau? The so-called white man. So we are brethren, but one was made to be the righteous and one was made to be the wicked, all right? Which is the so-called white man. He's the wicked and we're the righteous. And what does it say? Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, all right? Why? Because the scriptures even tell you that, you know, they pray against our people day and night. You know, they plot against our people. They put mischief amongst our people, cause all the chaos amongst our people, all right, and sit back and watch our people destroy each other. And they what do? They you know, look to the Lord and say, look how your people are behaving, basically. Give us that birthright. Because they know who we are, basically, man. So this is what it is. Thou sittest, they know we're the chosen people. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. And they slander us, all right? To call us the N-word, to call us, our people, drug dealers, murderers, put all these wicked titles on our people, man. Gangster rap music, whatever the hell it is. And then our people perpetuate it. But that's part of the slander, man. The media machine, the whole media, you know, of this system, the whole media, you know, of this society is geared, their news media, their newspapers, it's all geared towards the oppression of our people, man. All right? They never portray nothing positive about our people, man. It's always negative, and it's been like that for years, all right? There's power in the media, and they use that to slander our people. Just like the scripture says, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself. But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. Exactly, because for years the Lord, you know, allowed you so, well, really, it feels like years to us, but it's a short time for the Heavenly Father, because the scriptures tell you that, man, time in heaven and earth is different. Is time on the heaven and the earth, you know, is different, basically, you know. So it says it one day to the Lord, one day, you know, 1,000 years is as one day to the Lord, basically. But on earth, 1,000 years seems a long time, but that's nothing to the Lord, man. But, you know, that's another story. But this is what it says. It says, yeah, what I was saying that was, for a long time, Esau has been doing what? He's been getting away with all the wicked he's been doing to our people. These things has thou done, yeah. All the slanders, all the wickedness, all the agendas he's pushed us in the ghettos, and, you know, gave us the drugs and guns, alcohol, you know, poisoning our people, poisoned foods, all right, put us in the worst condition, deprived us of any economic wealth. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself. Yeah, and they thought the Lord, you know, was with them, basically, just because the Lord hasn't punished them yet. And these so-called white people really, for the most part, got it in their brain like they're never going down, they're never going to be judged. You know, if there is a God, he must be with us, because look what we're doing, nothing's happened to us. You know, but you are going to be judged. And it says that these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. And the Lord is setting us in order, right? How's the Lord setting us in order? He's given us this knowledge, all right? The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We're calling ourselves Israelites again. We're standing on our feet. And even the 2/3 of our people that are out there, you know, there's 2/3 that are starting to see what's going on in this system. Maybe they ain't got the full truth, But they do know that there's an agenda against them. Some of them even know that they're Israelites. They might not be fully in the knowledge, but a lot of our people know that, you know, they're linked to they have to be the Israelites. They know this because there's truths out there. All right? The truth's out there, man. So this is, but you know, there's an agenda, you know, against our people. All right? This is Zechariah, but this truth is out there, man. Zechariah 1 and 15. Zechariah 1 and 15. Okay? It says, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. I'm very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. Exactly. So, and who's the heathen? The heathen is all the other nations, the Chinese, the Japanese, the East Indians, all right? The Arabs, you know, the Hawaiians, the Polynesians, and the top of the list is who? The so-called white man. So the Lord was very sore displeased, all right? I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. And they're at ease because all these nations are above us, all right? That's what it means when it says they're at ease. In particular, the so-called white man, they're above us. They're the top of the so-called white man's on top, and he's given all these other little nations, or the other nations, their portion in this world as well. That's why they prosper over us. They have economy over us. They have wealth over us. They're more respected than us. The Lord's brought us lower, right? And that's part of the curses. You can read that in Deuteronomy 28. We have been brought low because of the curses, okay? We have curses on us, man. It says, and I'm very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. Yeah, so the Lord was displeased with us, brought us down, and pretty much let all the nations have their way with us, in particular in this main kingdom that we're in now, the so-called white man. The Lord allowed them to be over us. So he was displeased with us. But then it says they helped forward the affliction, meaning what, man? They took it overboard. So Esau had us in slavery, and it wasn't just enough to have us in slavery. They demolished our people mentally, you know, physically, the torture, the abuse we have to suffer in this world from going back from captivity. Why do you think our people are in a state of mind that they are in today? It all goes back to that horrific, you know, slavery that we had to suffer, man. Okay? And these nations continuously forward the affliction, man. Just look at the communities our people live in. You know, they say the community's a demon, but look, the areas our people live in, these projects, all right? What do you have around them, man? Nothing but poison Chinese food, alcohol shops, is fucking East Indian Elam shops selling alcohol, and, you know, Muslim Arab shops, you know, Ishmaelites, but then they're selling you pork. You know what I'm saying? Making fucking millions off our people, all right? So they've helped to forward the affliction, meaning they've helped to forward the hell, basically, that we suffer, man, all right? And that's all part of the prophecy, but they're all going to be punished for this. All the nations, they are going to be punished for this. This is Luke 16 and 20. All right, Luke 16 and 20. I'll read it from here. It says, Luke, and this is the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, but I wanted to read this part from it. Luke 16 and 20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores. And then Lazarus represents Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans today. Lazarus represents us, the poor man, okay? That's why it says a certain beggar, and it says named Lazarus, all right? But Lazarus, what happens in the end of this parable? Lazarus, at the end of this parable, becomes the rich man. It's his turn to be rich. The rich man in this parable represents a so-called white man. Lazarus represents Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, all right? And all the suffering that we have to go through, all right? But in the end, it's going to be reversed. Okay, so it says, and there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores. And what does the sores represent? The wounds our people are suffering, man. All right, the oppression of the nations, being oppressed, being at the bottom. You know, last, like we would say, last fired, first fired, last hired, man. You know, being looked down upon. The sores, the wounds of slavery, the mental wounds that we suffer, man. Okay. It says, and this is why our people are in the state that they're in today, man, all right? Even when you get the most healthy, you know, strong-bodied Jake, right? Guess what, man? What do they lack? Mentally, they don't know who they are. So that's part of the wounds. That's part of the sores, man. You see? So all the way around, our people are wounded, man. We're a wounded nation. And it says, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. And that's the point that really I wanted to get. I'm not going to read the whole thing of this, but it says, and desiring to be fed of the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Meaning what? Are people desiring, to have a piece of this kingdom, basically? That's why you see our people selling out in Esau's industries. Why? Because they want a piece of what Esau has, his riches. They want a piece of the pie, basically, the crumb of the table, which, that's why they sell out, man. You've seen it. Countless celebrities selling out. What are they selling out for? The crumbs of the table, man. All right? But the point I wanted to get here is when it says, moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. The dogs came and licked his sores represents what? The nations, the other nations, the heathens coming and, oppressing our people, man. All right? Like I was mentioning, being in them projects, you can be living in the ghetto and there's a Chinese corner store that's been there for what? 80 years, 70 years, non-stop. And it's a hole in the wall just making millions of dollars, millions of pounds. And it's been there forever. You can have little hole in the wall heathen shops that's been there for like 3 generations of Jake families living in that area, been going to that store, man. And there's some heathen that owns it and takes all the money and goes back to his own community or his own people. That's part of them licking our sores, man, licking our wounds of oppression, all right? And who set all of that up? The Edomites, the so-called white man. So there's definitely an agenda against our people, man, all right? And what does the scripture say? It's high time to wake up out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe, man. So that's the point I wanted to get at. The dogs came and licked his sores, man. You see? All right? So let me read this here. So lucky, let me get this one here. This is Habakkuk 2, and I'll go from 2 and 15. Habakkuk 2 and 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken, also that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Who's our neighbor? In this sense, it's talking about the so-called white man, all right? Your neighbor's your friend or your brother, okay? Every nation, let's say Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we are neighbors, we're brothers, meaning that's your people, all right? But in this sense, it's saying, woe unto him that give his neighbor drink, meaning who? The Edomites. They've given us drink, right? And put us thy bottle to him. Yeah, you make your people drunk. Let's say you deceive someone. You're getting them drunk, right? And makest him drunken also that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Making the person get drunk so then you can look on their, their shame. Because, people act crazy and bugged out when they're drunk. But this is basically saying you're purposely making the person drunk so you can see them behave that way. Okay? And that's parabolic of what? What Esau does to our people. He puts drugs in our communities, guns in our communities. He infiltrates them with like CIA, FBI, MI5 agents. And what do? They cause chaos amongst our people. All right? He pays our people ridiculous amounts of money to make music, talking about killing their own people. That's part of the agenda of what? Putting the drink to our people, man. Helping our people's affliction, basically. They're not trying to help you get right. Why would it be in your enemy's best interest to help you to better yourself as a people? Come on, the Chinese ain't gonna help you. The Japanese ain't helping you. The East Indians, like we always say, when Negroes was in slavery in America, why didn't the so-called Pakistani community come and help you? Because they don't give a shit about you. They're your enemy, man. So this is what they've done to us. This is the so-called white man. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him and makest him drunken, also that thou mayest look on their nakedness. I mean, he's drunk, made our people drunken with madness, man, with evil, just so they can point the finger at us, man. But they're the ones doing it to us. So there's like that Jake was saying in that podcast, man. You got our people, the analogy he gave. You got our people going against each other, but they don't look at the bigger picture. All right, the powers that be that control these things. But as we know, the wicked elites of Esau, this system's too far gone. The Lord's already set the plan, man. He's going to destroy Babylon, America. He's going to nuke this world. That's the second death. The nuclear missiles is going to be the judgment of this current system that we're in, man. And there's going to be a new world. All right, the world of the children of Israel under Yahweh Shai, after the judgment day of America, all right, of Babylon the Great. So let me finish this on verse 16. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Exactly. So that's what, when it says, thou art filled with shame for glory, drink thou also. Meaning this is talking about basically you're going, everything that so-called white man's done unto us is going to be reversed unto them. So thou art filled with shame, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee. What's the cup of the Lord's right hand? Slavery. What you did unto us is going to be done unto you, man. Okay? And we're going to have the so-called white man and all the other nations in pits, in the ghetto, in our system. When we're in rulership, we're going to oppress them. All right? And we're gonna have them all fucked up mentally, physically. In particular, the so-called white men, in particular the Edomites, we're going to have them fucked up physically, mentally, twisted up, man. Okay? Just like they've done to our people. It says, let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. And that's what's happening to the so-called white man now. There's shameful spewing on his glory. What's his glory? This kingdom. All right? And what's the shameful spewing? All the truths coming out on them. Truths coming out on these Edomites. How they obtained everything, who the real people of the Lord are, that they've been oppressing the children of Israel. All this truth's coming out, man. That there's a hidden agenda against so-called black people and Latino people, and Native American people in America and all over the world, but in particular the so-called Negroes. All right, people are waking up. So their shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So all the wickedness is coming up against these so-called white people, in particular their elites, but all these Edomites. All right. How they're a people of sin, man, and they got everything through evil, right? And oppression, okay? And hid behind, for years, all they've done, these Edomites, is hide behind their fucking lies, man. Oh, it ain't an oppressive society. It's not about racism. There's equal opportunities. No, there ain't. There's something called a glass ceiling in this system. I'm not gonna, it's a video for another time, but the point is, there's always been racism. The way they changed it, it's like a secret oppression, basically. It's only spoken amongst their own kind, but then they'll smile in your face as a so-called black man or a Latino man, but they hate your guts. All right? So shameful spewing shall be on thy glory, man. Shameful spewing is falling on these so-called white people's glory, which is their society. Everyone's realizing that they're the wicked of the earth, man. So, with that, I'm going to say all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect Akim that are teaching this word. Shalom, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom, shalom.